Welcome back, fellow knights! What's up, guys? It's Apollo here. Hope you guys are doing well. And we are back playing Empire Total War. Now, you guys know what day it is. And, well, if you're not American, then you're probably just like, what? It's July 4th. No! It's the 4th of July. It's when good old America was created. So yeah, this is American independence. We were a nation born through rebellion, and we're taking on the tyranny of basically the British crown. So to celebrate the 4th of July, we are doing a good old UK versus America scenario here. So I'm playing with some of my subs here. I actually streamed this live on my Facebook page. You can check out the live version if the replay just wasn't enough for you. So links are down below. So in this scenario, I am of course going as the Americans. In the center, we also have another American ally, and we have one of our greatest and longest allies in American history, really. It's the French. One of the most fantastic allies, and you know, again, I'm a French weeaboo, so maybe I'm biased, but yeah, good to have the French on the battlefield as well. So that's pretty cool. And then of course we're taking on 3 armies from the UK. So they've got their fantastic, you know, I gotta give them credit where credit's due. The uniforms, yes, it's red. I just think it looks really nice. I mean, they used red because it was such a cheap dye. At least initially, that's why they used red. And then, you know, just tradition, they use red coats. So yeah, we're gonna be fighting the lobsters, the red coats. So yeah, 3 armies located all around this map. So a big old battle. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and play this one. So as I like to do, I like to be very aggressive. My allies, unfortunately, had a different mindset going into this battle. I was hoping that they would march with me, but just real quick, let's look at my army comp. Well, hold on, let's hold that thought. We actually have a cav charge from the British going for my artillery. I quickly run my artillery out of there because it is horse artillery, and I'm gonna cut them off. Now, this is actually a Pioneer Raiders, which is a like skirmish cav, but I'm gonna sacrifice them just to protect my artillery. And then I have some regiment of horse going after his cav. He's actually got some heavy horse and some like life horse, which are much better than mine. So I'm gonna have to throw in my first Delaware into the fray. There we go. You see the beautiful American uniforms, that the red, white, and blue, the stripes and the stars and yeah. Anyways, we're gonna hold them off. We scare off the British cav, which is great. I protect my artillery, which is a great start. And now I can focus more on marching up my army. And there goes my pioneers, popping some shots there, trying to soften up the British cav. I actually get a little too aggressive here. I'm like, whoa. I'm a little rusty, and I am. I'm very, very rusty, guys. It's been a very long time since I played Empire Total War or Napoleon, but I have good news about Napoleon. I played some battles with my good friend the Ryan King, and we've got an epic battle. I've got an epic battle coming out here in a couple days, so look out for that. But yeah, we're pushing up. I've got my long riflemen. They're trying to get in position. The long riflemen are fantastic. They have really, really good range. So I guess these are like pioneer type men who are really good at hunting, and now they have a dead eye, and they're going to take their skills and try to, you know, bring it to the enemy, which of course is the United Kingdom. Right behind here, I've got line infantry, which look fantastic. They look so good. I do like, and you know, I might be biased because I am American, but these uniforms are pretty sick. They remind me a lot of the Prussian uniforms, that blue, that nice blue color. As you can tell, I like the color blue. It is, you know, I use it on my channel. So we got some guard. This is my elite force, and there we go. I'm pushing up my force. I am skirmishing off. He left his lifeguards over there. I'm going to skirmish them, try to get as many shots as possible, see if I can pop another volley. No, they're still reloading. Reloading does take a while. Now over here, unfortunately, the British, this is where I'm getting double teamed. We got some light dragoons going in, and they're taking out my horse artillery. I have some Minutemen. Of course, you got to bring the Minutemen to the battlefield, and they're trying to protect the artillery. Unfortunately, they also charge more riflemen. I was really expecting to break these guys, but I just can't seem to break them. And his cav is doing a lot of damage to my my riflemen, and this is not a great start. Initially, the cap fight was pretty good, but we are now struggling. Now, my ally is finally moving up some troops. I was kind of hoping we'd all move as one and fight as one, but it seems like me and my allies are having a not great in terms of synergy. You know, we're just not really playing well together so far, but anything can change. You never know. This battle is long, so we have a lot of time to reorganize and replan things. My line infantry getting back into position with the rest of the line infantry. Now I got some mortars just spraying down, going after my 24-foot artillery, 24-pounder. Just trying to get this in range, trying to quickly unlumber it, but again, we're at a pretty big disadvantage because he is using his mortars over here, and he's also got the 24-pounder already set up. And look at this, he's got these grenadiers, look, they look awesome, defending their artillery to make it difficult so I can't really take them out. So that's the current situation. I'm still moving forward. His cav is still decently healthy considering he lost that engagement. Actually did a lot of damage to my cav, but again, my cav is a little bit weaker in terms of, like, you know, skill and stuff and just quality of force. But now my Minutemen are kind of holding this flank. Not great. It's not exactly what you want out of your Minutemen. Not really there to hold a flank, more of a flanking force or a reinforcement force, but I'm so stretched thin that I don't really have a choice. I'm even peeling some of my long riflemen and infantry to deal with these guys, and we got a regiment of horse, and it looks like diamond formation going in for a charge against my lights. This is where I try to get my lights out of there. I form square, and I'm ready for this cab charge, unlike the one before. Now, he just like hammers through my square, though I still think I have the advantage here. And I'm actually falling back my line infantry. I don't know why I'm doing that, actually. And then I'm trying to inch forward my Pioneer Raiders to try to get some pop shots on his cav, to try to soften up his cav. But let's go back over to this engagement, because this is where things get a little spicy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, my line infantry kind of reforming that square that initially was charged. They're going to quickly, hopefully, yeah, there you go. They're breaking the regiment of horse, and that's one less horse cav we're going to have to worry about. Let's see the Minutemen in action, because they are a very famous unit. They're called the Minutemen because of how quickly they can get ready for battle. This is just militia, you know, that will quickly grab their rifle when they're called to the battlefield. And there you go, you got some Minutemen there. Unfortunately, they're not very good fighters and not well trained. So I am already breaking on this flank with my Minutemen. And starting to snow a little bit. Now we are breaking some of their grenadiers, which is great. But look at these guys. Coldstream Guards. That's another reason why I lost. My Minutemen are absolutely no match to the Coldstream Guard. So things are getting a little worrisome. I'm pushing up my rifles a little too close. A little too close. And this is where my rust is really showing, guys. I mean, this is really sloppy play here. My line infantry not even in range of his. So my rifles are just getting double teamed, getting picked apart. Now again, I am fighting on more fronts than my opponent. And I'm also moving up my elite force. 1st Maryland, we've got the 1st Delaware getting into position and ready to take on his grenadiers. Now this is pretty cool. The mortars are just shelling the crap out of me. And I see him pushing up his grenadiers. I see it, and I know what he's doing. What are oh, look at this. You're wiping them out. But what do grenadiers do? They have grenades, and he's actually trying to get them close enough to throw those grenades. I'm trying to break them completely. We do break them, but there is still one more unit, and he's going to push them up. Check this out, guys. Ready? He's pushing forward, getting his men a little bit closer. I'm trying to just hold my ground, get one more volley. And there we go. He's going to throw the grenades. As soon as he throws them, I run the hell out of there because I knew that was coming. And he completely misses there. And I'm going to stop about right here and just fire at him in his back. Or not. Oh, that was a mistake by me. I shouldn't have reformed like that. Turn around. Fire. Come on. He throws another set of grenades. And unfortunately, I thought, yeah, not great there. I lost a ton of troops there because of those grenades. But I decided to stand my ground and hopefully kill off these guys. The mortars are also firing at my grenadiers as well. But hold your ground, fire! Fire, damn you! Come on. Love that. 2nd row, fire! 3rd row, fire! Unfortunately, we don't break them, and my troops once again get hit by the grenades. Really frustrating situation. And I should have just charged them. That's what I should have done. Charged them right after he threw that first set of grenades. And now I'm throwing in all my elite forces, but I've lost so much there. The tactic of dodging those grenades was pretty decent, but it didn't pay off because I was sloppy afterwards. Got line infantry taking on some British forces over here. Over on this side, it's an absolute mess. I don't even know what the heck's going on. This looks like a medieval 2 battle because all of the infantry is just in melee. It's just, this player is just like, let's just go in, give him the cold steel. I love it. I love the aggressiveness. But yeah, it didn't even seem like they really sat back and fired at each other. Now I wasn't able to capture this charge, so I don't know exactly what happened over here because we were focusing on my fight. The French thankfully have sent over some cav support going after Roger's Rangers, going after some lights. We got a little engagement over here. It looks like he's taking out more Rangers. There's a little fight over here with some rifles. Probably not the smartest move to send in your long rifles into melee, but it's like this player just sent in all of his infantry and just melee. Now he does have some units in the back here firing, but you're risking killing your own men. So that's just an interesting engagement. It's very unique. So look at this. My troops are getting wiped out. Just wiped out. I got double teamed. My play was sloppy, and I'm just gonna retreat. There's no point of trying to hold over here if you're just not gonna win. My cav, this is the sad part. My cav is taking on his cav, so we decided to charge in our cav forces. They were winning initially, and then all of a sudden the tables were turned. And now my cav is gonna have to fight to the death and try to take out as many redcoats as possible. And here comes a small charge from those damn grenadiers that I just couldn't take care of. I do have a little bit of troops holding up over here, and this is where I'm doing the mass retreat, and I'm going to try to regroup with my my allies. There's really no point in trying to take on such a much larger force, so outnumbered, because it's just not going to end well. So I might as well be like a flanking support force for my allies. I do have my Minutemen. They have returned from routing. They're firing at the Coldstream Guards, which is an excellent unit. I don't know why he's so aggressive with this unit. I guess he's trying to cut off my retreat, but I'm actually going to surround him here, and this is turning out to be a very nice play. A little too aggressive by him. I think he needs to march together as one army instead of just sending this one regiment over here. But now I'm going to hold my ground here, try to set up a line. But he just keeps charging forward. It seems kind of strange. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. I'm like, what do I do? But I think I decided to eventually turn my line infantry. And there we actually killed one of the Allies' generals. And you can see we're just forming a death circle around this guy. And I'm just like, I'm done running. Let's face these British scum. Charge freedom. There we go. And he actually breaks because the unit knows he's surrounded. Here comes the Minutemen. They don't really have bayonets, but they go in. I'm trying to quickly break these guys too because there's a whole giant force coming around, picking me off with his lights and stuff. So that's a pretty cool engagement. Over here, it looks like it's very even. This just mosh pit of melee. You know, it's a weird engagement. I kind of hoped my ally would be a little bit more strategic based on, like, instead of just charging in the rifles. Like, I get charging in line infantry, but maybe instead of just charging in the rifles as well, using them to pick off British infantry from the flanks and stuff like that. But it's a really close battle. And the French have just now decided to move. And he's completely ignoring his opponent. And he's going to the center to support his ally. So this is, I kind of wish the French moved a little bit quicker, because I feel like if he moved while the center was going on and the center US force had more troops, he could have saved more US forces. But I guess it's better late than never. We've got this weird skirmish, literally the closest line battle between two skirmishing units I've ever seen in my life. So this is a fun engagement, but he's about to be outflanked over here. He's got more Rangers, so that's not exactly an ideal situation. He's actually charging in well, walking in these troops. Like, what's going on here? But here comes the rest of the U.S. forces trying to surround the line infantry of Great Britain. And there's a little bit of, it looks like a cav engagement over here. Yeah, French cav trying to take out the British artillery. Looks like the British were able to protect their forces. So the battle's been rough, guys. It hasn't been easy, but it's not over yet. You can see the British are still my opponent's still very healthy. I did not do a good job, but again, I was double teamed and I was really rusty. So you just got to do better next time. But yeah, I'm just quickly running to the French at this point. I tried to warn my allies, like, hey, watch your artillery, watch your general. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. You got to fall back, please. So I'm trying to go to the French. The French have pretty much an untouched army. So they're pushing up. We got the lights over here trying to support the U.S. forces. It looks like the center battle is going to be a victory for our side. So that's good. And the U.S. is actually kind of pulling away from the British forces here. I think he should have just fully committed, and I think he could have beaten these troops over here. But yeah, I'm trying to make my way over this way. So let's go ahead and take a second here and really analyze the battlefield and try to come up with a strategy on getting ourselves out of this hole, getting ourselves out of this situation. Here comes a little cap charge, though. Let's hold that thought and see if they form square. They do not form square, but he is charging in a thick amount of French infantry. We got him surrounded. And they should break him here. Yeah, they do. They're breaking him. Okay, so here's the situation, guys. The French army pretty much untouched, but his British opponent, it's the same thing. His army's pretty much untouched. He's got a very healthy force. It's going to be tough to take on, so it's up to him to take him on. Now, the biggest problem is the leftover British that I could not take out. Now, my strategy going into this was that we are surrounded, but our forces are together. We are one big force. And the way we're going to win this battle is if we concentrate all of our forces on one side, but we can't take it slow and steady. We have to be extremely aggressive. And the French have so many troops here, and literally the whole time, guys, you can watch the live stream, I was like, France, you need to go. You need to charge. You need to flank. Like, you can do it. And he's double stacking here a little bit, which is really bad. He's got multiple units here stacking in front of each other. Like, don't worry about the perfect line. Just go in and charge. Bring down these guys. You can see the UK they don't have enough troops to take him on. Look how long he's stretching out his men. He's even bending his line so he can prevent a flank. But yeah, the French have a huge advantage here. And unfortunately, he left his lights over here to take on the remaining British forces that I was taking on, which is it's not a bad idea. Let me that stutter there, but it's not a bad idea because you can slow him down. But here's the problem: you're gonna have to kite him a ton, and kiting takes a lot of focus and micromanagement. You cannot do that while you're taking on the British here. Now, finally, the French are moving in, and he's just taking his time, and this is a moment of just, you need to go. You need to just get in there and take them out. Now, we do have a very good charge here by the French going after the lights. That's a good move there. Definitely going to give him credit where credit's due. But in terms of the infantry, he needs to get this infantry into the fight, and we can win this battle. We can absolutely win this battle, but look at this. He's still, look, why is his line so long? What I would do, if I was the French, I would have this amount of troops, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, hold these guys in position, and the rest of you guys just melee in, just bayonet in. Like, you can easily overwhelm these British. There's thin lines over here. Take them out. Let's go, because time is ticking. Time is not on our side. Now again, he's using his lights to try to slow him down, which is going to cause way too much micro. He should have just used the lights to help out in this fight. Imagine lights being in front right here. I would have sacrificed my army to slow down this force. I mean, this was the initial opponent. I would gladly sacrifice my army to slow down this army if the French could just clean up this force, which he can easily do. Now, thankfully, he's finally getting his men in there. They're finally firing, but he doesn't need to sit back and fire. He doesn't. He just needs to get in there and give them the cold steel. I mean, look at the troops here. And these are good men. These are really good soldiers. And this is a little bit of a, like, what's happening here? I'm not sure why he's grouping up. Like, imagine if he just clicked this and moved forward and just charged and overwhelmed these troops. But it seems like the French player is going to be taking the slow and steady race here, guys. But it's a race I don't think he should be taking. Look at this. He's having to micro his lights now because they're starting to get overwhelmed. We do have some U.S. forces trying to slow down the British here, trying to buy time. And the British are just trying to slice through this thin force. And I'm sending my troops over to the flank here. Check this out. This artillery. This is a pretty cool artillery. It's the puckle gun. And it's looking the wrong way. Oh my. Oh no, it's right. It's right. Okay. But yeah, it's a really cool artillery. Look at this. His men are gonna charge it. It's the King's Royal Regiment of New York. Let's see if they can get one more volley in before they charge. Yes! And I was just like, break, damn you, break! And they just don't. They go in bayonets, and I'm gonna have to send one of my Minutemen units to go over there and help them because I don't want them to lose that artillery. So I'm sending over reinforcements, yeah. This was kind of a silly mistake on my part. Like, I'm not gonna do anything against these lights. I just can't close in the gap because my troops' morale is like non-existent. So I decided to fall back and try to find a better situation for my army. But yeah, look at the French, man. Like, look, they destroyed this unit. Just charge in with bayonets. Just go in. He could have crushed this force in a matter of seconds. That's the thing that I guess what frustrates me in a way, because like he could have easily have defeated this army, and he got a little too aggressive over here. All he needs to do, I mean, these are good units, you know, 33rd foot, just line infantry here, line infantry. But like he just lost over here. He didn't have to push up so aggressively. Just hold here and then push aggressively with the flank. And, you know, don't be afraid to just get your troops in the thick of it. Get your men's bayonets in the enemy's stomach. You know, just, like, bring them down. But unfortunately, the French kind of took his time there. My infantry's taken on some cav units. Trying to get them off the battlefield. I'm just trying to help wherever I can to win this battle, because I really didn't want to lose it for the 4th. I know, you know, just... And then I think that's the French general. Yeah, I think, or it might have been the other U.S. general. But yeah, the British are pushing forward. They still have very healthy numbers. I'm now dedicating my army to slow them down again to support the French. The French are, I mean, look at this. He's got a bayonet engagement going on here, but these grenadier type units are just kind of watching as it happens. I guess he's trying to fire the flank here, but just send them in a bayonet, clean them up really quick. Like, what are these units doing way back here? Just push them forward. Get them in the fight. Run them. Time is against you. Run them forward. Moving very slowly. And the French are now breaking over here as the British push in the back, in the rear of his forces. And at this point, it's looking pretty bad. The British are here. You know, we're out of time. We're out of time. And now I'm just trying to set up my line infantry. Got my Minutemen. Just gonna try to kill as many as possible. Try to slow down these guys and hope that the French can win their engagement. But it's not looking great. Oh, geez, look at that artillery. Woo! Getting the heck out of there. That artillery using canister shot, trying to take out this infantry. But yeah, the French were defeated. I mean, I'm not even talking about the reinforcement British army, but the French were just defeated here, even though he had the huge advantage. But that's, you know, that's a great example. Like Empire Total War, Napoleon, players tend to be very passive, very defensive. In some situations, you just got to get in the fight. You just got to bring them down. And there we go. The British are relining up. Excuse me, relining up. getting ready to take on that pretty elite unit there. French are now moving forward, and he's got a couple of regiments running around trying to support the fight. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna end too well here for our forces, and it's going to be, unfortunately, a British victory on the 4th of July. And that seems to be an ongoing tradition here on my 4th. And you know, the American Revolution was not an easy war. There was many defeats like today. But just because you have a defeat here doesn't mean you give up. You look at what you do. You look at the replay. You look at what you can do better. You learn, and that's what it's all about. And most importantly, it's about having fun. So yeah, the French are putting up their last stand, essentially. The British are pretty much victorious over here, so they're going to be able to move in and take out these guys. So we can just sit back and kind of watch the gunplay here. We watch the French desperately hold off multiple numbers here. I think the biggest mistake, I was rusty. I was too aggressive. If our team had better synergy, I think we would have won easily. If the French were a little bit more aggressive and we all just charged this British player, it would have been over. But because like what we would have done is like defeated this force and then quickly turn around and take on this force. It wouldn't have been easy. It still would have been a hard-fought battle. But I think that was our best chance of winning this one. And it was a good chance. It wasn't like a slim chance. It was a good chance. It was a grand chance. But yeah, as you can tell, it's going to be pretty obvious that this is going to be a British victory. But nonetheless, guys, I'm just going to fast forward here as they slaughter these French. Nonetheless, guys, I hope you have a fantastic 4th of July. Stay safe, eat lots of good food. Don't blow your fingers off by, staying too close to fireworks. And if you're not American, well, I hope you have a great day nonetheless on this 4th of July. It does end in defeat, but we all know how the war ended, and that's all that matters. But thank you guys so much for watching. Well, hold on. Before I do the outro, here's the stats. I actually did the worst in terms of kills. I did the worst. 828. So, I don't have much to say here other than, that double team didn't help. I was sloppy. Everybody did pretty great in the UK side. So yeah, most kills Ahmed here, 2-4, 2-4, 2-4. But yeah, great game here. Let's see who did the best. My line infantry, the guards and second long riflemen. So I could have done a lot better there. But happy 4th of July, guys. I hope it's a great one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the battlefield.